Hi there, good evening. Welcome along to Friday night here at the Modus Super Series. And that means, of course, that the final places will be filled at finals night tomorrow. 3 are through, 3 looking to join them getting through Group B. And here is a reminder of what happened last night.
Don't know, I've never played this well before. It was the strangest of things. And there we go. Never played this well before, but he keeps continuing to do it.
Okay, and that meant that Davidson came to Group B and McGurk went into Group C. They won't mind at the moment. Great campaign today from Joe McGurk. Large looking at tops. What a start to this match. What a start to this night. Look at that. Well, is he going to have to nestle in to that tiny portion to the left?
Where he's headed to stand. That's exactly what he was aiming for, and that's exactly what he's done.
Yeah, commentary provided by myself and Scott Mitchell last night, but Laura Turner is still with us today. Laura, you had the pleasure of calling this afternoon's action, and it was a couple of Irishmen who got through. Really good stuff from them as well.
Yeah, really, really good. I think for McGurk, he came into Group C really positive, kept that consistency the whole way through and saw him top the table, but also a real big word on Killian McCormack because he had to fight his way through Group A, obviously found himself in Group C and just got better and better as it went along. And yeah, as you say, they dominated the group in the end.
They certainly did. It's a couple of Irishmen and a Welshman through to finals night already. Richie Burnett got the win in Group A earlier this week. He will be back on that stage. Watch out for some fireworks there. As just mentioned, McGurk and McCormack. But Group B is quite competitive. Charlie Large, Mark Dubridge, Reece Colley and Jimmy Vanky and Andy Davidson, the players in action this evening. And last night, well, it was fast, furious, but it was really good quality as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be expected when you've got 5 players like that in the group, and you've already got a couple that maybe feel slightly adrift from the top 3, but I imagine things may change. I think we're going to see maybe a different version of Reece Colley as we come in tonight. But yeah, it's going to be a tight group again, I'm sure.
The 2 players that really did stand out were the 2 that had won their weeks in the previous series. So we'll start with one of them, Andy Davidson. What a find he's been.
Yeah, really has, hasn't he? I think he's kind of got that potential like another Tom Sykes, someone that's come here at the Modus Super Series and just really settled in. Just seems like he kind of owns the stage when he's up there now, and he's only been here a handful of times. So very, very impressive from him.
Yeah, and is Jimmy Vanky as well. He's had the same sort of story, hasn't he, as Davidson. He came here, bit of an unknown, won a week, but he's gone on to do other good stuff as well in the WDF system. So those 2 players will be very confident of getting, it might only be a win they need, maybe 2, well, 2 will get them through. You'd expect them to get that tonight. Absolutely,
100%, and they will be expecting it too. I've seen Jimmy in and around the WDF circuit, as you mentioned, and yet he's becoming one of those formidable forces that everyone kind of wants to avoid in the draw. So yeah, I think for them too, it's looking really, really positive. Obviously, it starts. It's a different day. Anything can happen, but I'd be surprised if we don't see them here tomorrow night.
And Jimmy was really popular with the crowd when he came on a Saturday night last time. That will apply to Charlie Large based on geography. He's from Portsmouth. What would it mean for him to get through and have another chance at a Saturday night here?
Yeah, I think it'd be massive. I mean, obviously Charlie's kind of one of the younger up-and-coming players as well. He's made a World Youth final and he's doing really good stuff here. He's put himself in a very, very strong position. So if he can come out, I think he needs to win, maybe 3 just to really, really solidify his position there in the top 3 of the table. But as I say, anything can happen, but it'd be great for Charlie.
Yeah, he won his first couple of games last night, but then lost his last 2. So he'll be hoping to get the job done quite early tonight, I suppose. And we'll just take a look at the table, in fact, to show you where the players stand. And it looks, by the looks of it, Laura, that this could go deep into the night.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it does, because as I say, there's top quality there. Even though Reece and Mark Dubridge are sat there on just the 2 points, that could easily reverse, in terms of results tonight. So that in itself wouldn't surprise me. But I just think the top 2 in that table, the way they perform so far, I think they may just be that bit too strong, and it's everyone vying for 3rd position.
And last night the bookies couldn't really separate them. Now Mark Dubridge was the favourite before a dart was thrown. Now he's 25-1. That's how quickly it's turned around in this group. Andy Davidson now odds on to get the win in this group. But he and Jimmy Vanky are on the same points, and we did see a different Charlie Large last night. I think maybe value wasn't available last night, but it might be tonight.
Yeah, I do think maybe it is, because, as I say, anything can turn around in this group. There's only a few points separating them. I do understand why they've gone that way with the betting, the outright betting anyway. So It could change, but I do think, those second and third place, bit of value.
Yeah, and if you are going to have a bet, of course, do so responsibly. It's 18 plus begambleaware.org. From this evening, we said we think Davidson, we think Vanky. You spoke about the quality of Dubridge and his experience, and Colley as well, and Large with that motivation from Portsmouth. I am going to put you on the spot. If we're saying the top two, who's going to be the third?
Yeah, I think the way that I've seen them play so far, and that's all I can really go on, I would probably side with Charlie Large. I think Charlie could hold on to that third spot, but as I say, it can turn around. There's a lot of experience between Colley and Dubridge to draw upon, but perhaps the young player he can find his way into tomorrow night.
Right, I'll try and remember that and see if you're right at the end of the evening. Can Charlie Large charge through to finals night? We are going to find out over the next 10 matches this evening, and you could be there on Saturday night as well. If not this week, then any week here at the Super Series. Here is how.
Every Saturday we open our doors for our weekly finals night.
For a unique and intimate darts experience.
Meet the Dart Stars and even the team off the telly.
Here at our purpose-built venue in Portsmouth.
Every single Saturday evening.
Tickets can be booked via this QR code
Or at www.dartshop.tv for a very small booking fee.
Follow us at MSS Darts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
For all the latest ticketing news.
All you need to do, log on, book, turn up, and the action gets underway from 7:30 p.m.
So what are you waiting for?
Get your tickets to the darts.
We look forward to welcoming you to the Modus Super Series very soon.
Yeah, please do come and join us here at the Modus Super Series if you ever get the opportunity down in Portsmouth. It might be too late for this Saturday, depending on where you live, but there are still some tickets available. Many people wanting to see Richie Bennett in action, but I'll tell you what, if Andy Davidson makes it there, you're in for a real treat as well. He is super speedy, and he plays at a super standard as well. Winner, of course, in the previous series, week 11, Chaos Colley. Is looking to go on better than he's achieved here before, but he's going to have to start winning matches and start winning them early tonight. Only 2 points to his name on the opening night of this group, and it is the toughest of starts for Colley. Can he get the job done?
First leg, it's Andy to throw first.
He has.
Game on.
I don't know if it's an advantage. We'll find out after his first couple of games, but he does have the
95.
opportunity early this evening, playing in 2 of the first 3 matches, so he could turn his night around in his group around very quickly, Laura.
Yeah,
100.
absolutely. And I do expect him to make a few more inroads than he did last night. But on the flip side of that, obviously, if he doesn't get off to that flying start, then his Group B campaign could be in jeopardy very, very soon.
Well, just to keep you in tune with
44.
what's needed to get there. If you get to 10 points, you definitely will make it through. So Davidson and Vanky in need of 2 victories tonight.
84.
Large in need of 3, and Reece Colley and Mark Dubridge to be guaranteed both in need of winning
59.
all of their matches. However, they might not need to, but you would think that they'd need at least 3.
96. Andy, you require 86. Game shot
Brilliant
of
stuff
first
from
leg,
Davidson,
Andy
doing what he did
Davidson.
last night. Fantastic 14 darter.
Second leg, it's Reece to throw first. Game on. $123.
Well, notable on the shirt of Reece Colley. Just see it there.
100.
R.I.P. Dennis. That is the father of a friend that he plays darts with that he's just remembering tonight.
100.
Nice touch.
$57.
Well, you did warn me. This could be
125.
a rather rapid series of matches tonight, and these two are not hanging around.
Yeah, it was like this all last night. Just the speed was incredible.
Reach required 153.
And that 180 gets Davidson back in this second leg.
100.
He's such a good
Andy
follower of his
required
first start, Andy
164.
Davidson, so no surprise to see him go somewhere where he can hit 2 targets together.
94. Reach require 53.
Oh, this to level us up at 1 apiece. Needs tops. Double 10.
43.
Can't find
Andy
the target.
requires
Quite a way off.
70. Game shot on a second leg.
Double 8
Andy
found by
Davidson.
Davidson. You would think, Laura, that 8 points would be enough. I know he has to get to 10 to
Third
be
leg, it's
certain,
Andy to
but
throw first.
win here and he's
Game on.
on easy street, really, isn't he?
Yeah, it puts him in the best position as a player in a round robin format.
74.
His future's in his own hands. That's all you can really ask for.
The likelihood of another
96.
3 players getting to 8 is severely reduced, particularly because one of them is beating now, and he could only get to a maximum of 8 then, Reece Colley.
95.
Yeah, it's one of those groups, isn't it, that has the potential to go
83.
very, very long into the night, but actually it could start sorting itself out very, very quickly, depending on how these first few results go.
Yeah, the one sort of
62.
saving grace for Colley here is the way the fixtures land is that, yeah, Jimmy Vanky and Davidson could pretty much put themselves through in the first 2 matches, but Colley then plays
42.
Dubridge,
Andy require 170.
and one of those is going to get level with Charlie Large if that is the run of results. So it
100.
would be 2 players pretty much through, but then 3 players scrapping it out for 1 place, which is the beauty of this group, 3 going through from 5. You don't need to finish top, you need to finish 3rd.
Andy requires 70.
Just seen him take this out. If he's going to do it, needs a different route. Needs a ball.
Game shot on a third leg.
Different route,
Andy
but
Davidson.
same result, and 3-0 up to Andy Davidson.
Hasn't missed a double in the
It's
game,
Reece to throw first. Game on.
including 270 checkouts and an 86, and he's averaging nigh on 105.
91.
This is some statement.
100.
I wonder if they get to the point where they're going so fast up on the stage, you're actually getting dizzy, because by the time you're coming back, you're almost stepping back up to the oche. But there's those averages you're talking about.
55.
104.5 for Davidson. Around the mid-80s for Reece Colley.
I tell you what, even though
85.
Colley might be in a battle for 3rd place come the end of the evening, this is not going to do his leg difference any good. It could come down to that.
85. 58.
And we know Reece on the oche. He's no slouch, but I do wonder if you can get wrapped up in that kind of rhythm when you're playing someone as fast as Davidson.
125.
Well, I just don't get it. How can someone throw that fast and be that accurate, Laura? Have you tried?
I've tried everything.
100.
Still can't find that level of
Reece
accuracy,
require
but understand what you mean.
145.
Colley can't be quite as accurate as he needed, but he's put himself in a good position
Andy
here.
require
The way this game has
158.
gone, though, he might not even return. He will return. Has already missed a couple of darts.
98.
Double himself.
Reece require 52.
Cannot afford to miss any more.
20.
Yeah, and unfortunately for
Andy
Reece, it's
requires
another miss on the
60.
outer ring.
Game shot and the match. Andy
You
Davidson.
can see Andy Davidson carrying on that incredible run of finishing in that game. He's 4 from 4, and he hits Reece Colley 4-4. Fantastic display, 100 average, just over in fact. All of those finishers combinations, the smallest was 60. They're the ones that win your matches. 60, 70, 70 again, and 86. 100% checkout success. Andy Davidson, as good as through, if not quite there mathematically yet. Reece Colley has got work to do. Charlie Large in action next, a Pompey player looking to be on home turf tomorrow night. He takes on Jimmy Vanky.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
They've both got the talent where they can just reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. And what a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum
Well, what a way to finish. A 12-dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree.
Only needs the one.
On the second leg,
What were you saying about efficiency?
on the third leg,
Is that the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it. And it is right next to his favourite double top. And he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Cam Crabtree through.
Case not so. Harrison gets the all-important win.
On the second leg, Darius Labanowski.
Well, Smith, is it a 9? A long time, and that clenched fist. He gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
on the fourth leg,
just like that. Only needs the one, and there you can see.
That she can unlock at any moment, but that is quality from Harrison. This would be a wake-up.
Welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him, and is. It was a great guide.
On the first leg, Andreas Harrison.
It's a breaker throw for Andreas Harrison.
On the second leg,
Consecutive breaker throw, double 16 is found.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison!
Welcome back to the action here at the Modus Super Series. Well, we're now going to see Jimmy Vanky look to do exactly what we saw Andy Davidson do in the opening match. If he wins, then he pretty much puts himself through, but Charlie Large will be determined to stop him and do what he did last night when he won his first two matches. The fixtures, of course, played in reverse order, so he's now going to play the two players that he was beaten by on Thursday evening. He's turned up this week with a fresh look and hoping to get a little bit of luck and get a return to Champions Night. Of course, reached the semi-final here before. Jimmy Vanky, though, he went and won the whole thing when he played on week 6 of Series 7. And he captured the imagination and the support of a few people. It was like a home crowd for him. That's what Charlie will get if he makes it through tomorrow. And a win in his opening match would help him get there.
First leg, it's Charlie to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, the match between these two yesterday did run quite close. It was just the 4-3. And as you say, it did go the way of Vanky.
80.
And you feel this is one of those matches, even though it's early on, it's quite important for both of them in terms of their progression.
42.
I think we're both in agreement that Vanky hasn't got a lot to do if he's going to progress into tomorrow night. Charlie, just that bit more. I just think from a confidence point of view, especially for someone like Charlie, who's just chasing that lead in pack and just seen Andy Davidson stretch the lead even further. If he can get this win under his belt early, it might just settle him in.
140.
Yeah, and he really was emphatic in his opening wins last evening.
174.
We've just seen Andy Davidson be exactly that in his first match. Well, match one last night saw Charlie Large beat Davidson 4-2.
95.
And he was very impressive when he lost legs. He wasn't sort of sulking and stropping like teenagers might be known to do, Laura. I don't know if you know anything about that.
More than I sometimes like to admit, but yeah, having a couple of them at home.
31.
But yeah, he really responded and just gritted his teeth and hit back. And every time he was broken, he broke back. In fact, the first 4 legs of that match were all breaks of throw.
140.
And then he went on
Charlie
to win
require 58. Game shot on the first leg.
Yeah, very
Charlie
well taken in
Large.
14 darts. That's a holder throw for Charlie Large. I think that is an
Second
essential
leg,
skill
it's Jimmy
if
to
you
throw
are going to do
first.
well here at the Super
Game
Series,
on.
because not everyone's going to go up there and win every single match, and you're not going to win every single leg. And as you say, if you've got
60.
that positive attitude, you can bounce back from disappointment, bounce back from loss, then you're going to do quite well here.
40.
Quite often you'll see those players that just don't have that attribute, and they will start to unravel as the group progresses.
Drop dart for Jimmy. A long way down to retrieve it.
100.
Did see that wonder dart from him last night. That 5-5 was the dart of the series for me.
Because he does have that additional advantage that he could
27.
probably see over the top of where it had actually been blocked by the 5.
131.
Yeah, there aren't many people that can kind of approach the dartboard and are looking down upon it. He is one of our rather taller players.
47.
Arguably, he's played better stuff this week than he did in the group stage of the week that he won. So we'll be very interested to see how he performs if he does make it through.
58. Jimmy require 115.
There are some good names in there already. As he looks for tops.
95.
Can't find it, but the 2 Irishmen who made it through. Shane McGurk, very experienced now at the Super Series format. Killian McCormack in dreamland, wasn't he? Overcome with emotion
Jimmy
when he
require
qualified
20.
this afternoon. Potentially Andy Davidson
shot on
from
a
this
second
group. Jimmy
leg, Jimmy
Vanky looking to
Vanky.
join him. If Charlie Large makes it through, of course, the advantage of home crowd, and then a certain
Third leg,
Richie
it's
Burnett.
Charlie
It's
to
going to
throw
be a
first.
very, very
Game
interesting
on.
finals night.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
93.
Again, I feel myself saying it like week after week, but you can see any one of these players lifting the title, getting their spot
60.
in Champions Week. I just think the quality of players that are coming through at the moment, there aren't many that turn out to be surprise packages.
57.
I'm just wondering if Richie Burnett did indeed stay in his hotel room with a cup of tea for the last couple of days.
60.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm just more interested in where he got the boiling water from, to be honest.
93.
Those that don't know that story, maybe we'll tell it later in the evening. It involves Richie Burnett, a pot noodle and a radiator.
140.
To be fair, I think you can put most of those pieces together.
100.
Well, Large down to a finish, although it is a large one. Jimmy Vanky down to something much smaller after that.
180. Charlie require 158.
Another beautiful double 19.
120. Jimmy requires 61.
Will that miss there prove a little bit costly in this leg at least? 61 required, goes 25 to 36.
Game shot on
And
the
very well
third
taken
leg,
there
Jimmy
from Jimmy Vanky, and that is a breaker throw.
We just want to see if Charlie Large responds in the same way he was
Fourth leg,
responding
it's Jimmy to
early in
throw
the evening
first.
yesterday, or whether we
Game on.
get the head drops that we got later in the night.
108.
And the ultimate question is asked straight away.
$58.
Yeah, perfect start from Jimmy Vanky.
99.
He knows he's in amongst a little bit of a A barrage of brilliance here,
59.
does Charlie. Jimmy just not missing at the moment. 2 out of 3 on the
58.
doubles. Ain't bad, but not quite as good as Andy Davidson in the opening match.
100.
That was
Jimmy, you require
some marker laid down by Andy
164.
Davidson.
$78.
He's looking to follow him in terms of the standard of performance, so an average just shy of 102 as we come to the end of leg 4.
95. Jimmy, you require 86.
Won't have to bother with the bull if he... Well, no, that doesn't matter. But he's got the luxury here of time with
46.
large not on any kind of outshot.
He could do with finding a treble and pulls it into the
44.
5. So
Jimmy, you require 40.
Jimmy Vanky back for tops. Just readjusting, needs double 10.
$20.
That's a
Charlie, you
slow,
require
painful death, wasn't it?
145.
Oh, this would hurt.
131.
Yes, two
Jimmy,
legs
you
back to
require
back.
20.
Big misses for Charlie Large, the 158 and the 145. Once again, Jimmy's got a chance here to punish.
No score.
Well, double 10 not his friend.
Charlie, you require 14.
Suddenly it starts to unravel for Vanky, and Charlie Large can't believe his luck. Almost took out the big one. Now he's left himself on an awkward double. Well, he's gone for double 1.
Game shot
it's
on a
paid
4
off.
flag. Charlie Large.
Yeah, it's not something you see that often. 7, normally the 3 double 2
Fifth
is
flag.
the
It's Charlie to throw first.
go-to route.
Game
But you
off.
know what he was doing there? No hesitation.
And you can see the reaction from Vanky. It's a big game for him. He really
89.
will want to do what Andy Davidson did, because if he loses this match, then Charlie Large will go level on points with him. But after the next match, somebody will be within 2 points.
60.
Because Colley and Dubridge play each other. If he wins the game, he's got a huge 6-point buffer to the bottom 2. Who are the 2, of course, that get
100.
eliminated. And you do get that strange sort of pattern in these groups, whichever group it is, that
46.
you can be in a match where if you win that game, you're pretty much through, but you might not be in that position again all night.
Yeah, we saw
57.
it slightly in Group C earlier on with Greg Ritchie. He felt if he got like one more win, he would have been safe and ended up just sliding down the
140.
table.
Yeah, may be a few surprised to see Killian McCormack made it through, but I did say earlier in the week that he would, so
182.
I know darts. Actually, I'm on a bit of a hot streak, Laura,
Charlie
because I also
requires
predicted
75.
Richard Rowlands to make it through his group last week as the
He did
outsider.
indeed.
Won the week. Yeah, it's in, Charlie. Carry on, mate. Right, I'll stop talking about myself. Let's
Game
talk
shot
about
on the
Charlie
fifth
Large, because
flag.
he's turned this
Charlie
one
Large.
around. He leads 3-2.
It's almost like that
Sixth flag. It's
opportunity,
Jimmy
that
to throw
extra
first.
chance at 14.
Game on.
Just spurring him on.
100. $96.
Oh, it's Jimmy Vanky that's
100.
got the darts here. But you do get the feeling Charlie Large, if he can, he's going to want to finish it on this leg. He will have the advantage of throw, but it was a 4-3 result that went against him
59.
yesterday. You want to kind of try and avoid that 3-all situation if possible.
58.
Well, do keep getting involved in the chat on YouTube. Let us know who you think will go through, who you'd like to see go through. Who do you want to watch tomorrow when we return at 7:30 for finals night?
96. 43.
Yeah, that visit there could be an opening here for Charlie Large.
46.
There is the potential that 5 of the 6 Group A players all make it through. Jerome Mayotte being the only one that may not. But Burnett, McGurk, McCormack already there. Davidson looking good. Vanky in a good position as well.
56. Jimmy, you require 142.
Jimmy's first with the chance to level it up. Not going to do it. And Charlie Large has threatened a couple of big outshots so far this match.
64.
Looking at the
Charlie,
148.
you require 148.
Well, won't be threatening this one.
59. Jimmy, you require 78.
For parity.
72.
Well, it was going well for him
Charlie,
earlier on.
you
He was 2
require
out of 3
89.
on doubles, but he's missed 8 darts since then. At the outer ring, Jimmy Vanky, and Charlie Large has taken full advantage. Oh, but that is criminal, really.
49.
Should have been throwing at the ball
Jimmy,
for the
you
match.
require 6.
He's going straight for it. Double 3 required. Yeah, is that awkward?
No score.
I think it was.
Charlie, you
just couldn't
require
see enough.
40.
And Large gets a clear look at tops, but the doubling has really cost Vanky now. A dozen darts missed.
Game shot.
And Charlie,
and the match, Charlie Large.
he's having it large on Friday night here at the Modus Super Series. He gets a big win. He gets a big opponent. In fact, he leapfrogs Jimmy Vanky, and let me tell you, that takes some doing. A 4-2 victory for Large. 4 out of 9 compared to just 2 from 14 from Vanky, for whom it all went wrong in the last couple of legs. He's down to 3rd in the table now, level on points with Large, but crucially only 4 ahead of Colley and Dubridge, and that gap will get smaller because those two are playing after this break.
Hang on a minute.
Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's £100 down the drain already.
Itching to hit the 180.
He's gone for the maximum.
For the ball. Ball.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first out from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Skate.
Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable.
Get match darts to put his team into the final. And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Double 4 for the title.
Game shot out of the match. Please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
He seems to be out. That's what he is. Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Bosch.
Pie Face is through.
And he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Pie Face dominated throughout.
Welcome back. Streaming to you live from the live lounge here in Portsmouth, and a big match about to take place between Rhys Colley and Mark Dubridge. They do occupy the bottom 2 spots in the table, but because of the previous result, which saw Jimmy Vanky beaten by Charlie Large in a reversed result from last night, whoever wins this game will move within 2 of the top 3, and that's, of course, where you are aiming to be. Rhys Colley needs to bounce back. He's already played once tonight. He lost 4-0. He's running out of time and sinking in the quicksand. And if he's beaten here by the 51-year-old former world finalist Mark Dubridge, then his chances may be gone in a flash. Almost get the sense here, Laura, that one player's playing a knockout game and the other one's not.
Yeah, not yet. Anyway. But the way this match went yesterday,
First leg, it's Rhys to throw first.
It's quite an emphatic win for Rhys. His
Game
best
on.
of the evening. Actually, the only ton topper, I believe, in terms of averages yesterday. Had 100.20, which we saw Andy Davidson hit earlier on in that opening match.
60.
I think for Rhys, he's going to have to try and find something around that form if he's going to make any inroads.
$135.
The big strength of the Dubridge game, as we witnessed on several occasions last night, is following that first start.
140.
The problem was the first start wasn't where it should be enough last night.
$100.
Yes, probably similar to Andy Davidson as what you were commenting before. The speed he throws that, but if that first start lands, he can follow it so well.
96.
Dubridge does hold the record for the most maximums hit in a match here at the Super Series. He had 7 in a game. I'm pretty sure the game only went 6 legs as well.
91. $45. $89. Rhys, you require 160.
Couldn't find the 57 he was looking for, but down to 86. This would be massive. Needs chops.
120. Mark, you require 86.
Well, he misses it by a mile in the end. Bullseye, a much smaller target, but a seemingly a much easier one. Dubridge steals that leg somewhat.
Second leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
Jack Garwood, the referee this evening, calling out the numbers, keeping
134.
order on the stage. There he is, one of our excellent team, which boasts the likes of him, Paul Hinks, Owen Binks, who I'm sure is having a very good night somewhere near Glastonbury.
$140. $82.
I would say in terms of numbers posted by Mark Dubridge last night, they're all kind of high 80s. In fact, the match that he won, which was over Charlie Large, was his lowest average of the evening.
125.
Probably feels slightly hard done by the fact that it was just the one win that he managed to accumulate over the evening.
Yeah, and he was favourite before a dart was thrown to win this group.
59. Mark, you require 102.
Oh, what a catastrophe this is turning into for East Colley tonight. Staring down the barrel of losing 6 successive legs. You do get the sense
42.
that with both Reece and Mark, that if one of them can sneak through in 3rd place, you wouldn't be surprised to see him lifting the trophy tomorrow night.
Oh, absolutely
135. Mark, you require 60.
not. Tops required for Dubridge. 10s.
40. Reece, you require 133.
Needs something to spark a resurgence here, East Colley. It's just not happening.
59. Mark, you require 20. Game shot on a second
There you
leg.
have it,
Mark
2-0,
Dubridge.
Mark Dubridge. Yeah, perhaps there is something a bit flat about the
Third
performance
leg,
maybe
Reece to
from
throw
Reece
first.
Colley.
Game on.
In 1 week 11 back in Series 6, he's won a couple of times on the
96.
development tour back in 21, won the British Open in 2022. And I think that was that period of time where he was really playing some of his best starts, represented England, everything was flying. And
120.
I think if you look back at the stats perhaps of Reece Colley, he is one of those players that kind of ebbs and flows in terms of performance levels.
85.
Yeah, already getting the sense that he thinks the game is up here. Just wandering around, a little subdued.
82.
I've always said Reece is one of those players that he really does come to life when he does
44.
make it through to finals night. He has quite a bit of a following as well that comes down here to the Super Series and just kind of comes into his own in front of a crowd.
Yeah, and fair play to him because Portsmouth's not the most
29.
central location, is it? And they do come down in great number to follow their man.
140.
It is worth the pilgrimage, though, if you are thinking of coming down. Very different darting experience.
80.
Not
Reece,
a
you require 136.
Colo Yaya chant in sight.
$67.
Yeah, and I think that visit there kind of sums up what we're seeing from Reece. Getting himself into a decent position, but too many loose starts.
140.
You kind of talk yourself into missing,
Reece,
don't you? Because
require
the body
69.
language starts to be negative. He gets one dart at tops. This time he
Game
does
shot on
it.
the
Is
third
that the
leg,
moment?
Reece
It's his
Colley.
first leg won in 7 tonight. We spoke about him playing 2 of the
Fourth
first 3
leg, it's
matches as
Mark to
being
throw
such an
first.
opportunity, but it may
Game on.
actually end up having the opposite effect.
Yeah, his campaign could
83.
be over before we've even reached the halfway point tonight.
100. $59.
And we will see who is the 4th name on that roll of honour tomorrow evening. 7:30 the action gets
60.
underway. Make sure you tune in. Not much else happening this weekend.
$139.
This has been pretty solid here from Mark Dubridge. He's obviously had that advantage of finding a breaker throw on Colley. It's Reece with all the work to do now.
131.
Yeah, Dubridge though in a good position. Can one of these players book their ticket
85.
to Saturday? And if you book your ticket to Saturday, please make sure you do it from the official site. That's dartshop.tv.
55. Mark, you require 135.
Well, this is on treble 20. Would have left the button. But that's
99.
a very good leave.
Reese require 155.
Yeah, and this is a big ask for Reese Colley. Sorry, I narrowly missed that 160 checkout earlier,
58.
but nowhere near the
Mark
155. So 36
36.
here for a 3-1 lead for Mark Dubridge.
Game shot on a
Yeah,
4
3-1
flag.
it is.
Mark Dubridge.
Mark Dubridge now just one leg away from victory.
5th flag. It's Reese to throw first. Game on.
He may be putting himself in the picture to make it through, and in doing so,
100.
effectively eliminating Reese from the race.
$140.
Yeah, Reese now finding himself in a position where whatever he's throwing at Mark Dubridge, Dubridge is
140.
firing right back at him.
Yeah, it just has not worked out for Reese Colley tonight.
85.
Still time.
140.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen comebacks from more precarious positions than this.
121.
Yeah, another deflection
Reese
there.
require
Dubridge doesn't even want to
121.
finish, but it's a big one. And treble 17 is the target to leave the ball.
Game shot on a
Yeah,
5th
and that's
flag.
an almost
Reese
central ball,
Colley.
but that is a 1-2-1, and it's 3-2 now. Still, Mark Dubridge with the advantage, has the throw in this 6th leg.
6th flag. It's Mark to throw first. Game on.
It's actually a very good standard of game. Remember, these are the two players occupying the two bottom places in this group, but both are averaging in the 90s.
85.
Both have hit precisely 50% of their double attempts.
$59.
Surprisingly, for two power scorers, not a maximum in the match yet. Usually when I say that, the next score is a
44.
180.
I was waiting for it, but those Mystic Murph powers weren't quite working on this one.
125.
The radar is not quite there. Yeah, not quite as sharp on the scoring, but pretty deadly on the doubling. You'd take that in most matches.
140. $100.
Reese Colley just clinging on to Mark Dubridge coattails.
$125.
Couldn't quite put one between the posts, so the clinging on continues.
45. Mark, you require
Well,
107.
he's not really thought that through there, Reese Colley. A dart towards the bullseye would have left him on a finish. Maybe academic,
71.
but now he would have at least had a chance.
Yeah, very frustrating once again for Reese Colley. Now all he can do is put on the pressure, and you see that shake of their head.
132.
Maybe
Mark, you
too
require
little, too late
36.
for Reese Colley.
Always the way, you don't do what you should the shot before, don't leave a finish, then you hit the two
Shot and
trebles.
the match.
But it's
Mark
the double
Dubridge.
that does the damage, as Dubridge pretty much does for Reese Colley's chances and keeps his own alive in the process. Flash gets the start that he wanted, but Reese Colley's early wobbles may cost him come the end of the evening. A 4-2 win, a decent game of darts in fairness. The 1-2-1 from Colley was brilliant, but it is probably too late for him, and Dubridge moves within two of third place Jimmy Vanky, who's back in action after the break. He takes on the table topper Andy Davidson.
Yep, welcome back to the Modus Super Series. Joining us here, game number 4, where Jimmy Vanky is taking on our table topper in Andy Davidson. Another very kind of loaded game in terms of how this could shape the table, because Jimmy Vanky, he actually lost his opener 4-2 to Charlie Large. But it was Davidson that really did lay down the marker. 100.20 average in his opening win, 4-0 over Colley. And he really wasn't hanging about Andy Davidson. A win here, that would see him safely through 2 Saturday night's finals. But it could put in question slightly Jimmy Vanky's campaign here.
Yeah, it certainly
First
could.
leg,
He'd have
it's
the
Jimmy to
nightmare
throw
start,
first.
wouldn't he, with defeats
Game
to
on.
both Large and Davidson. He's already dropped to 3rd, so he's now the target for Mark Dubridge to chase. And that doesn't help.
80.
Yeah, that was a rather explosive bounce out there for Jimmy Vanky. And this is another explosive start for Andy Davidson.
Yeah, he is absolutely brilliant, Andy Davidson. Remember the name.
120.
Someone put firecrackers or something on the end of Jimmy Vanky starts.
Well, some nights you have no luck at all, do you?
100.
And everything's been rejected here for Jimmy Vanky. Is this a sign of things to come?
83.
And you can see there that the fact that he'd had a couple of darts bounce out from that segment changed his mind, because he started looking like he was going to throw again at the treble 20 and thought better of it. He ends up not taking great care with that last dart and only scoring 3.
Yeah, it kind of upset the rhythm, didn't it? And yeah, a bit of a perplexed look there from Jimmy. Not sure why it's pulled into the 5, but it has.
41.
Well, he thought that out quite
Andy
well, but the
required
execution was a little off.
136.
7 more points and he got the 25, so he would have been on a finish.
96. $57. Andy require 40.
Yeah, this for an early breaker throw.
Game shot on
Early
the first
breaker throw
leg.
it is.
Andy Davidson.
Breaking 14 darts for Davidson. Yeah. in
Second
less
leg.
than a
It's
minute
Andy
and
to
a
throw
half.
first. Game on.
Well, for anybody interested, the draw has just been done for the
85.
PDC World Cup of Darts. I'm sure we've just gained a few viewers who are watching that, but if you weren't and were loyal to us, then I will fill you in that information.
40.
England are going to play France, Northern Ireland versus Germany, Scotland versus Poland, Czechia against Sweden, Wales, of course, without Gerwin Price, will take on Croatia.
137.
Austria will be the opponents, the reward for Chinese Taipei, who made it through to the last
58.
16. Jimmy's home nation, the Netherlands, will face Belgium. That's a standout tie for me. And then Italy against Australia,
100.
concluding the draw.
It's one of those things that I do enjoy about the
93.
World Cup. It does throw up a few names that we're probably not used to seeing in these big TV events.
Yeah, like Jim Williams.
139.
I was thinking more of the Lions of
96.
players
Andy
from Chinese
require 40.
Taipei.
Game shot on the second leg.
Well,
Andy
Scotland are always strong in
Davidson.
it, and Andy Davidson will be dreaming of making that team one day. He is now
Third leg. It's Jimmy to throw first.
just 2 legs away
Game on.
from a return to finals night. Made it on debut, won it on debut, didn't make it on Champions Week.
140.
But he'll be back for another tilt if he wins 2 more legs.
140.
It really is a great find here at the Modus Super Series. Andy Davidson.
57.
You'd argue, in terms of his throw, it's a little unorthodox, but the follow through and just the way you can pummel that target.
100.
Absolutely outstanding.
And 3 players already there, of course.
96.
Tom Sykes winning week 1. Jim Long, the week 2 winner of Canada. And then Richard Eric Rowlands,
49.
the Welshman, who could be joined by another one in Richie Burnett. Charlie Large makes it. Would have Long and Large through to Champions Week.
100.
He might be have to invite Alex Small back for a second shot.
59. Jimmy, you require 108.
Is there a dart player called Short as well? It must be, surely.
92. Andy, you require 153. 55. Jimmy, you require 16.
So to get back on track.
Game shot on a third leg.
That's what Jimmy does.
Vanky.
Yeah, because if this match does go the way of Andy Davidson.
Fourth leg, it's Andy to throw first.
As we
Game
progress
on.
through this Group B, it could come down to leg difference. So even if Jimmy doesn't win the match, he's going to want to get a few legs on the board.
135.
Just to try and keep that deficit down as low as possible.
95.
Just a bit more on that World Cup, by the way.
100.
If the Netherlands beat Belgium, they will play Italy or Australia. If Wales beat
140.
Croatia, they play Austria or Chinese Taipei.
137.
The top half, England versus France. The winners play Northern Ireland or Germany. That's a tough draw for England. Tough route. Scotland,
59.
Poland.
Andy,
Winner
you
playing
require
Czechia or Sweden. The
129.
Swedish team have been excellent.
93.
Yeah, and that set-up shot there from Davidson was excellent.
100.
Wow.
Andy,
Well,
you require
I
36.
think we'll call that the Vanky slam dunk, shall we?
Game shot on a fourth flag. Andy Davidson.
Vanky with the highlight visit, but Davidson doing the job on the double. 3-1 and now 1
Fifth
away.
flag. It's Jimmy to throw first. Game on.
I don't think I've ever seen a throw quite like that one.
58.
We'll maybe get another look at that later. That was bizarre but brilliant. I mean, Richie Bennett has a throw
58.
a little bit like that one, but his not intentional, is it?
No, not at all. I think that's
140.
it's going to be one of my favourite sayings in darts, I think, going forward. Bizarre but brilliant, because that's what we enjoy.
And it's a good
45.
description of Richie Bennett. In fact, if you haven't seen him this week, I wonder if we can put together a little highlight reel, not of him actually throwing the darts, but of everything that's been going
95.
on when he's been at the back of the stage. He befriended the speaker earlier this week. He apologised to it a couple of times.
98.
Don't know if they had cross words or something. It was holding its towel for him.
140.
In interviews said that he would have been happy to win 3 out of 2, which I couldn't really get my head round.
26.
And also
Jimmy
told us he's played in some
68.
dumps.
52.
Well, Jimmy will be down in the dumps if he loses this game. I think he's actually in danger of exploding a little bit here, and he's been a man that has always been calm.
180. Jimmy requires 16.
Yeah, but perhaps there's a little bit of fire is what he needs to get this win over Davidson.
12.
It's a
Andy
misfire there,
required
though,
94.
and Davidson, having hit the maximum, his second of the match, now has a match-winning opportunity.
78.
It wasn't just a dart miss to win
Jimmy,
the game, it was a
require
dart miss to
4.
qualify for Saturday.
Yeah, Jimmy now just taking his time. See him geeing himself up on the hockey. Needs double 2.
Game
He
shot on a
finds double
fifth
2.
flag. Jimmy Vanky.
In terms of how they've both played against each other, because obviously, as you mentioned before, both these players
Sixth flag. It's
came
Andy
through Group
to throw
A.
first.
Jimmy
Game
finished
on.
second, Andy narrowly only just finished in third position. But it was Jimmy that got the better of Andy in the first 2 days.
95.
The result was 4-1. And then Wednesday and yesterday it went 4-1 the way of Davidson. So in terms of their head-to-heads just this week, it's 2 apiece. So there's a bit of bragging rights going on here as well, because they would have been together all
140.
week.
Yeah, and as we said at the start of the show, Laura, it's similar stories in how they emerged in
134.
explosive fashion in the previous series. only one of them's going to go through to Champions Week this time, so that will probably be a little subconscious battle about who can kick on. Who was the new talent that was found in the last series? Who can sustain it? Andy Davidson did confirm in an interview earlier this week that he does plan to attend the PDC qualifying school in January.
100.
Jimmy Vanky may well be playing on a few big stages before then.
85. Jimmy, you require 161.
I'm looking for a big ton topper, and he's not going to find it on this visit. So a real chance here for Davidson to secure his place into Saturday night.
He's going to get his chance. Vanky's going to make him wait, though.
$105.
So it's treble 17.
87.
20s. Double 5.
Game shot.
Andy Davidson
Andy
delivers
Davidson.
and books his place at finals night of the Super Series. The power of Scotland as Davidson goes through. He's the first to 10 points in Group B. He does it with time to spare, and he does it in pretty good fashion as well. A 96.4 average. Hit half of his double attempts in the game, including the double 5 for that match-winning qualification 87 checkout. But is Jimmy Vanky about to check out of the tournament? Another defeat for him leaves him vulnerable. Mark Dubridge chasing him, and he's in action next against Charlie Large. The action continues, and it's a big match, this one, between Charlie Large and Mark Dubridge. A victory for Large, and he puts 4 points between himself and his opponent and pretty much books his place at finals night in his hometown here in Portsmouth. But if Dubridge wins, he's level with Large on 6 points. Also goes level with Jimmy Vanky as well, who of course has lost his opening 2 games this evening. Each of these players won their opening match. Large beating Vanky 4-2, and Dubridge getting the better of Reece Colley by the same scoreline. So this could tell us whether it's going to be effectively a battle between Dubridge and Vanky, or whether or not he can drag Charlie Large into that scrap as well by beating him.
Yeah, still quite a bit to play out.
First leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
Yesterday, the match went the way of Mark Dubridge. It was a 4-2 result over Charlie.
$134.
Yeah, and in terms of how they've both performed tonight, as you mentioned, both won their opening matches, both won 4-2. It was Large that got that big result over Jimmy Vanky.
100.
And Dubridge, he was the one that kind of put pay to the hopes of Reece Colley.
What we do know is that Andy Davidson is through. 10 points, top of the table.
100.
That has secured his spot at finals night. So only 2 places up for grabs now. Large currently sits in second. Vanky in third. Dubridge would join them on 6 if he
57.
wins in this game. So good when the first start's on target. He's unlucky there, collides off that first start.
Yeah, still seeking that elusive 180. Mark Dubridge threatened it on several occasions so far, but in the context of the match, very much in control in this leg.
32.
He kind of got no need to get involved in this nonsense
104.
Here. Mark Dubridge, he just put it right with the last start, but maybe be more aware of what his opponent's on would have changed his mind there.
59.
Yeah, sometimes as a player you can get so wrapped up in what you're doing, you don't actually take notice of the opposition. But
no
damage done, and that's 1-0 to Mark Dubridge. Tidied it up, nice 13 dart holder throw.
Second leg, it's Charlie to throw first. Game on. $58. $66.
Well, we've talked a couple of times already tonight about Charlie Large's ability to bounce back from disappointment. Would have been disappointed not to have been closer, not to have been more involved in that opening leg, but what can he do here?
$134. $81.
The closer it gets, the harder it becomes, I suppose. Just wonder as well how much extra importance he's placed on it by someone
140.
Like Charlie Large, who is local, who knows that he can invite all his friends and family down tomorrow night if he makes it.
Yeah,
99. Mark, you require 161.
Of wanting something a bit too much, trying that little bit too hard.
And the tighter you hold on to something, the more likely you are to break it.
$95. Mark, you require 62.
Great dart, great start, great finish
on a second
from Mark
leg,
Dubridge, who doubles his lead in this match.
Third leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
Reece Colley against Jimmy Vanky after the break. Defeat for Colley would be
100.
the final nail in the coffin. He would be eliminated. If Charlie Large does qualify and you have got plans to come down tomorrow, you might want to book that ticket
60
now. And he can do that by scanning that QR code. £2, the booking fee for a night of sporting entertainment
45.
featuring some very, very talented players and one rather eccentric one as well.
Yeah, the lineup so far, very exciting. You say we've already added Andy Davidson to that lineup. 2 more to confirm from this group. Mark Dubridge is doing everything right to put himself as being one of those players in contention for finals night.
Well, he could actually find himself in the qualification spots come the end of this game. If he wins it handsomely, he will overtake Jimmy Vanky, who's sliding down the table. It's a Jimmy Vanky slope, isn't it, so far this evening?
140. 56. Mark, you require 36.
Just a little bit of frustration creeping in there for Charlie Large. Just can't find any response to Dubridge, who pins 36 and takes his lead to 3-0.
Fourth flag, it's Charlie to throw first. Game on.
So if he wins this leg, Dubridge will move into the top 3 provisionally. But of course, Vanky in action next against Colley. Large also faces Colley later on tonight. He might
140.
be as good as out, but won't be an easy opponent for anyone.
96. 82.
Yeah, good last. Good switch there from Mark Dubridge.
I just had a little glance at the average, and this performance is even
43.
better than I thought it was. Sensational stuff from Mark Dubridge. Look at that. It didn't feel as if it was up there
99.
in the 109s, 110s, but that's where he is. And look, the gap between them was enormous.
99.
Dubridge has got everything right, and Large hasn't really got anything going in the game. He's only scored a couple of 3-figure visits in the entire match.
40. Charlie, you require 170.
It's been impressive so far from Dubridge, but this would be impressive if Large can find the 170, and he can't.
56. Mark, you require 140.
140, plays 114. Another. Clattered off it, didn't it? He's unlucky there. Now he has to avoid it.
100.
And he
Charlie,
manages to do that, sets up tops,
114.
but Large can try and pick his pocket.
Yeah, finds the treble. Single 14 for tops.
74.
And misses that by the narrowest of
Mark, you
margins, and now
require
Dubridge back for
40.
tops for the match.
What a turnaround this could be for Mark Dubridge. Started the night at the foot of the table. Oh, that is a wild one.
No score. Charlie, you require 40.
To save his skin in the match, needs tops,
Game
finds
shot on
tops,
full flag.
3-1.
Charlie Large.
And it's never over till it's over. What a mess that was from
Fifth
Dubridge.
flag,
His
it's
performance
Mark
was
to
so
throw
polished
first.
to that point.
Game on.
Determined to put it right as quickly as possible.
140.
Yeah, almost off to the perfect start there, Mark Dubridge, but it would take a 140. Yeah, and Charlie not able to
58.
find a treble, so very much advantage Dubridge once again.
Remaining matches for Dubridge against Andy Davidson and Jimmy Vanky. That one against Vanky in the penultimate game of the night could be huge. Large plays Davidson in his last match. That's pretty tough, isn't it? But I wonder if the fixtures are falling in the right way, because Davidson already through.
96.
He might not mean to, but he might lose a little bit of intensity.
Well, there's no loss of intensity here from Mark Dubridge.
131. 100.
But if you go straight for the bull
Mark, you
here, it's a
require
10 dart
50.
leg. feel like booing him, to be honest, but
Game shot and the match.
he has
Mark
won the
Dubridge.
game, and he's won it well. In fact, he's won it very, very well. A 4-1 win against Charlie Large. But the average, the best we've seen, 105.64. Dubridge showing us why he was favourite to win this group. Look, he's not going to win the group, but he might win the week. He is on course now to make it through to finals night after drawing level with the man he's just beaten and Jimmy Vanky, all on 6 points and all to play for after a fantastic performance from Flash. He defeats Large 4-1. Coming up next, Colley takes on Vanky, but we will reflect on all the evening's action, and we've got a little announcement to make as well after this short break. So that brings us to the halfway point of the evening. Let's just start with that last match, because that was an absolutely stunning showing, wasn't it, from Mark Dubridge?
Yeah, really, really good. It's kind of just built on what we saw from him yesterday. We said in comms he was probably a bit unlucky to have only ended up with the one win yesterday, but he's putting that right today. And I say epic performance there, 105.64. Very, very good from the Flash.
It certainly was. Let's just show you what we have seen so far tonight. These are the first 5 results and the remaining 5 fixtures as well. Andrew Davidson getting the 4-0 win over Reece Colley that kind of set the tone for both players' nights. Charlie Large then getting a really significant win over Jimmy Vanky. Dubridge beating Colley. Davidson then qualifying with a win over Vanky. And then Dubridge with that victory against Charlie Large, which means this group is really, really interesting because we've got 3 players tied on 6 points, but moving in different directions seemingly.
Yeah, it's Vanky that you've probably got to have the most worry about at the moment, because everyone else is kind of on the upward trajectory, but it's Jimmy that's actually kind of spiralling down slightly with those 2 losses. It's him that's probably got it in his mind that he was in a great position and now is finding himself trying to cling on.
The player that did get the job done nice and early was Andy Davidson. Irresistible stuff from him at times. He just is really, really good quality player, and we can expect him to do well tomorrow night, having qualified.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've now got all these expectations for about Andy Davidson, because he just burst onto the scene and he failed to disappoint here. You see him taking out the 87, which from the reaction, he knew that was securing him through to Saturday night, but also a win over Jimmy as well, who was one of the closest rivals coming into tonight. So yeah, he's just been really solid throughout and just performing at very strong, very high levels.
What have you made of Charlie Large this evening? Because we've seen kind of both sides of him.
Yeah, I think so. I think he did very well in his opener. It was an important match for him to keep himself in contention. I will say, yeah, perhaps we saw him just kind of hang his head slightly, but then you have to take into consideration that Dubridge did post a 105 average. So, perhaps don't reflect too badly on himself there. He's got 2 more matches. If he can find a way of winning both those, and again, he could see himself through.
Is it sometimes a good time not to play well? Because even if he had played well in that game, he likelihood he wouldn't have won it.
Yeah, it might not have been enough, mightn't it? Because, as I say, it's the standout performance so far from Mark Dubridge. So, yeah, you can kind of take a step back. I think when you're actually in the game, it's quite hard to see what's going on. You don't see the averages when you're up there. And I think even we said it didn't quite feel like that was the average. He was kind of averaging over 110 at one point. So I think, yeah, when Charlie's gone in the back room, seeing that average, he probably wouldn't have felt so hard about his own performance.
Absolutely. Right, let's just show you the standings in the table. Confirmation that Andy Davidson has qualified. He has got 10 points, the points he needed to get through. But the top 3 go through. Look at that. Large, Vanky and Dubridge, all on 6 points now. This is going to be a really interesting climax, Laura.
Yeah, it is. And I really can't predict it. I think actually one of the biggest question marks for me is actually how Reese is going to play. How's he going to react to the way that he's kind of played so far? He's pretty much written out of this. I think the next game, if he doesn't win, then that's definitely him done over for the Group B. But yeah, I think he can actually probably write some of this story himself. If he can relax and find some of those levels that we've seen from him, he could really upset that table.
Certainly could. He will be out if he loses his next game. More on that in a moment. But first, we've got a little bit of an announcement to make with regard to next week's players. We did announce the lineup last night, but there has been a slight change. So here is the full list of the players next week. And you might notice no longer has Paul Hogan on it. He's now going to play in week 6 rather than week 5. And Noah Lynn van Leuven is going to make her debut on the Super Series stage. And it is a well-deserved debut, isn't it, Laura?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it takes some going to win a challenge tour, but also a formidable force on the women's series as well. So, yeah, another welcome addition.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing her and all of those other fantastic players, Scott Taylor and Jim McHugh, and, of course, former series champions. That's going to be the first match on Monday. That is a welcome back, isn't it, having been a champion on the stage?
Yeah, just looking at that, you've also got Neil Duff in that group as well. So, yeah, I think that could be a very, whoever wins Group A would be a very deserved winner.
Right, that's next week, but we're going to get back to this week now, and Jimmy Vanky is in action against Reese Colley. Vanky hoping to return to finals night, where he caused quite a stir last time you made it.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
You need to count 5 in your mic, mate, if that's all right.
Okay.
That's okay. Do you want to count to 5 in your mic? So like this, tall.
Oh, it's not in my mind.
What a fun night that was. Jimmy Vanky really did capture the hearts of the Pompey party here at the Super Series. Plenty of great content, including that available on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and you can catch plenty of bonus content.
Yeah, definitely recommend a look at the YouTube channel. Another character, Jimmy Vanky, and he's back in action here, and he's facing Reese Colley. Now, Reese and Jimmy both have had probably a rather disappointing start to this Friday evening. Jimmy losing his opening match to Charlie Large and then losing 4-2 to Davidson. But very similar, Reese Colley lost 4-0 in the first match of the evening to Andy Davidson. And he finds himself now sat on 2 points. Cannot afford any mistakes. And you feel that if Colley's got any chance when he wins, if he wins, he's going to have to win big. But Jimmy Vanky is going to want to try and keep himself in contention.
First. Game on.
Both these just on that slippery slope. Who can stop the rot?
125.
Yeah, huge game. Particularly for Jimmy Vanky, who, as you say, he's trying to just halt that slide, isn't he? Not the start to the night that he would have wanted, would have hoped to have been in the position that Davidson is already through after starting the night on the same amount of points.
94.
And he's one of those players, he's proven to be quite a big character, both here and on the WDF circuit.
40.
Starting to make some real inroads in the sport. And I think coming in tonight, I think for Jimmy, he would have been very confident that he probably would have got the job done by now. So this is new territory for him in terms of the fact that he's really going to have to now fight to secure a place.
There is, of course, still a scenario that could see Rhys Colley
96.
make it through, but that would come to an end with defeat in this match. It's very, very unlikely, by the way, before all his fans get too excited, but
101.
It's never over till it's over. Stranger things have happened.
95. Rishi require 94. $54.
Yeah,
Jimmy,
tried for the
require
double route.
170.
Didn't go to plan. So Vanky here with a chance for a 170. Gets the first. There's the second. Needs the ball.
145.
Oh, yep.
Rishi require
Narrowly misses
40.
and affords an opportunity here for Rhys Colley.
No score.
I think he's a bit unfortunate there. He's not done
Jimmy, you require
an awful lot
25.
wrong, but Vanky will get his opportunity. Taking his time this evening, a little bit more than he was last night. Maybe just a sign that he knows the importance of every leg, every double. But he breaks straight away and he'll be feeling a little bit more pressure-free.
Second leg, it's Jimmy to throw first.
Rhys Colley spent
Game
all
on.
night playing like a man who looks under severe pressure, and it was piled on him by Andy Davidson in that opening match.
40.
Yeah, and just another example. Jimmy persevering with that treble 20 and another explosive outcome as it bounces out the board.
108.
Said everything, didn't it? The eye roll after the 180 from Rhys Colley. If he hits a 9-dart here, it might be the most sort of lethargic
140.
9-dart finish you would ever witness.
I would have liked to have seen it just for the reaction, to be perfectly honest with you. But I agree. I think he's playing like someone who's just... It's like he's had no luck. Everyone's doing everything against him. It's just not going his way.
140.
What's the best reaction you've ever seen to a 9-darter?
140.
Oh, he's now trying a blind 180. I don't know. I'm torn. Willie Borland's was very good, but I like the fact that Dean Winstanley we lost him for a while. We didn't know if he was lapping the... was he lapping the
40.
auditorium?
Rishi require 104.
How about you? You got a favourite?
It was one actually in the
92.
live
Jimmy
league before we moved here to
141.
Portsmouth. Another Dutchman, Danny Van Tripe, he looked in actual shock having hit a 9-darter taking out the 141, which Jimmy Van Schie can't do here. So Colley will come back.
89. Rishi require 12. Six.
And I think that
Jimmy,
just
you
about
require
sums up
52.
Rhys Colley's night so far. And Jimmy here needs 32 for a 2-0 lead.
Game shot on a second leg. Jimmy Van Schie.
Jimmy Van Schie making it more likely that he will get through. We said that 8 points would be enough. For somebody,
Third
it might not be
leg,
enough.
It's Rhys to throw first. Game on.
Could end up seeing players go out on 8, which would be very rare. But with 3 on 6 and 2 games to play, it's a
100.
possibility. If Van Schie does get through, by the way, did reference earlier that would see 5 players
59.
go through who played in Group A. That's the maximum amount that can get through from that group, and it would be the first time since week 4 of Series 6 that that's
140.
happened. That is a long time ago. And those players were Jacob Taylor, Danny Lawby,
97.
Stefan Belmont, Adam Hunt and Marcel Wolper. Well, a handful of those have now got tour cards.
I was going to say, I think that's a bit of a testament to how tough Group A probably
97.
was this week.
So it hasn't happened
40.
this year.
Rishi require 164.
May happen tonight.
47.
Well, once again, Rhys Colley finds himself in a relatively commanding position. He's found himself here a couple of times before.
162.
Great visit there from Vanky, just to put on a bit of pressure again.
57. Jimmy, you require 143. Rhys, you require 60.
Double top then for Colley to avoid the whitewash. He does that.
Rhys Colley. Fourth leg, it's Jimmy to throw first. Game on.
I mean, we're talking about the kind of the way that Rhys is kind of walking around the stage. I mean, he is quite a laid-back guy anyway, but
140.
Just that little bit deflated, much more than normal.
180.
A little bit sort of nonchalant now, isn't he? Just trying to get through the games. He probably doesn't realise that there is a route through here because it just looks like Mission Impossible on paper.
I thought you were going to get your wish then, and four treble 20s into the leg.
Yeah, let us know in the chat as well if you've got a favourite 9-dart finish reaction. Did like the one between Robert Thornton and James Wade as well at the World Grand Prix when Thornton hit back. They sort of bowed to each other, didn't they, in respect of that achievement.
59. Jimmy, you require 121.
Well, it's Jimmy needing the 1-2-1. Treble 17. Not going to go. Can Rhys Colley
97.
Something out of the bag here. 164 required.
164. 129. Jimmy, you require 24.
Double 12 for 3-1. Double 6 found. Jimmy Vanky starting to rediscover that winning feeling and might be putting himself on the precipice of a place at finals
Fifth
night.
leg. It's Rhys to throw first.
We just reminded you of what happened last time he made it, and he might be able to relive that joy once again.
100.
People forget. I mean, it started with that comedy moment that we showed you when he decided to test his microphone by counting in his
80.
head. But that night had everything. He went through by virtue of a 9-dart shootout
100.
in which the player that didn't get through hit a 180. That was Darryl Pilgrim.
140.
It's not very often we see them anymore.
It will happen one night. It could be tomorrow.
85.
Or it happens in both groups.
Yeah, that would be exciting. Exciting for us, not so much for the players.
108.
Chris Mason, our commentary colleague, was involved in one when he was here. Of course, he won his week as well, didn't he?
100.
Having got through
Jimmy,
a 9-dart shootout.
101.
Needs double 18, finds double 18, and that is
Jimmy
the match.
Vanky.
Does go the way of Jimmy Vanky. He stops that decline and does manage to find a couple of points on the board. It's not the closest of battles. Rhys Colley really is struggling, but you can see what it means to Jimmy Vanky. Big fist pump there. And there's the averages. 93.57 for Rhys Colley. It was a 94.25 for Jimmy Vanky, but it was that outer ring, 4 from 8, 50%, including that 101 checkout that saw him win over 4-1. Well, do join us after a short break as we will see Mark Dubridge. He'll be taking on our table topper, Andy Davidson.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Line.
They've both got the talent where they can reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. And what a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum.
But what a way to finish. A 12-dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree.
Only needs the one.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius
What were you saying about efficiency?
Is that the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it, and it is right next to his favourite double top, and he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Crabtree through.
Case not so. Harrison gets the all-important win.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius Labanowski. Game shot.
Smith is it a 9? A long time, and that clenched fist. He gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
game shot on the fourth leg.
Just like that. All he needs for one. There you can see
that she can unlock at any moment, but that is quality from Harrison. This would be a wake up.
Welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him, and is. It was a great dive.
Shot on the first leg. Andreas Harrison.
It's a breaker throw for Andreas Harrison.
Shot on the second leg.
Consecutive breaker throw. Double 16 is found.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison!
Who will be the next champion here at the Modus Super Series? Mark Dubridge trying to force his way through to finals night. He's making a good fist of it tonight, winning both of his games so far. The problem he's got now is the same can be said of his opponent. 2 wins from 2 for Andy Davidson, who's already through to finals night, having made it to 10 points. He's safe. 8 points might not be safe for one of the players. Dubridge can get there with victory in this one. He still has Jimmy Vanky to play. It could end up being a straight shootout, that game. More to follow on how the players can make it through, but keep winning and you will get there. Vanky with 1 game left. If he wins it, he'll get to 10. That'll be enough. Large and Dubridge with 2 games left. If they win those, they'll get to 10. That'll be enough. But of course, all of those things can't happen. First target here for Dubridge is to defeat Davidson. And of course, we do know now that Reece Colley won't be going through after that defeat to Vanky before the break.
Yeah, now every player here in Group B, I would say these two, obviously, in terms of speed, the most conflicting. Andy Davidson is an absolute speedster.
99.
Much more measured from Mark Dubridge, but we can see what he can do with that measured throw. 105 average in his last match, his win over Charlie Large.
58.
And you sense that he's going to need more of the same if he's going to make any inroads here with Andy Davidson. Did lose yesterday 4-2. But there is one pertinent point that you made earlier,
59.
Chris, and that is, has the adrenaline gone from Andy Davidson? He's going to want to win every match because that's the kind of player he is. But now he knows he's through, that real panic, that sense of the goal is achieved.
Did ask you in the chat in the previous match if you had any favourite reactions to 9 dart finishers.
41.
And we've had a couple of answers. Dean Winstanley was by far the best, says Niall. Jason, Josh Rock when he hurt his leg celebrating against Michael Van Gerwen. You cruel man, Jason. My favourite, says Pip, has to be Vanky hitting a 9 darter tomorrow night. I tell you what, if he does that,
108.
I will buy you a ticket to come down and watch a finals night. How about that?
92. Mark, you require 80.
Yeah, am I right in saying that we still haven't seen a 9 darter on finals night?
You are, but apparently we're going to get one tomorrow.
Game shot
and we get a double check out from Dubridge there, who is in the mood this evening. He had a disaster last night, really.
Second
Couldn't live up
leg,
to
it's
that
Andy to
favourite
throw
billing,
first.
but we
Game
are
on.
seeing the best of Mark Dubridge tonight.
45.
Favourite reaction to winning a match? I mean, Dubridge, when he beat Andy Jenkins in that World Grand
24.
Prix game, that's got to be up there, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's quite a few good reactions that we've seen over the years, but yeah, you're right, that has to be one of them.
140.
I liked one in, I think it was the European Championship, Simon Whitlock. He had a big comeback win against Jamie Caven, and he sort of didn't know how to celebrate. It was very enjoyable to watch.
29.
There've been a few that have had interesting reactions to losing matches as well, but maybe we'll save those for another night.
Yeah, that list is that's long. I mean, there are some players now that start to lose it whilst they're still in the match.
Andy
Haven't even
require
lost
136.
the game, and they blow their top.
Yeah, always good for the viewer, but I
58.
suppose as a fellow player, you can feel the pain sometimes. Well, Andy Davidson really hitting back here after
96.
Dubridge,
Andy
who
requires
quite kindly,
78.
after we referenced that game at the Grand Prix, has put himself in pretty much the same position in this leg.
38.
If you are just joining us, just a reminder that Andy Davidson has already qualified.
100.
But nobody else
Andy
yet through from this
require
group.
40.
Mark Dubridge has put himself in a position to join him.
Shot on his second leg, Andy Davidson.
This game all square. So the league table sees Davidson top on 10. He's through.
Third leg, it's Mark to throw first.
On 8
Game
points. Not yet through. Charlie Large in third on 6, and Mark Dubridge on exactly the same. Only 2 legs between them as well. But you would think
60.
that Dubridge has to win this game.
Yeah, say Charlie Large
60.
faces Reece Colley in the next match. And that one, again, interesting because I did think that Colley could play the role of spoiler. And now he knows that mathematically he's got no chance of getting through
45.
to Saturday. Does that see a more relaxed version of Reece, or at least one that's got the freedom to play, because he's just not looked at home up on the stage these last couple of days.
97.
Yeah, the other fixture that's going to be significant is Vanky against Dubridge. At the very least, I said Dubridge may need to win the game. At the very least, he needs to keep the scoreline close. He doesn't want to go into that match needing to win it by a certain margin. And that will help Mark. Second max of this match for him.
60.
Great shout from Stephen in the chat saying one of the best reactions to winning a match was Mark Webster when he beat Phil Taylor in the World Championship.
60.
Man, he wasn't always the calm, cool, collected man that you see when he's doing the punditry with you, Laura.
Mark, you require 156.
You two have seen him behind the scenes at those things. He's always cracking the jokes.
140.
Well, that's a lovely
Andy, you
setup.
require
Or does he come back
107.
for a go at it? Double 16.
91.
Dubridge does
Mark,
get his
you
chance.
require 16.
Yeah, match so far can't get any
Yeah,
closer,
shot
but
on
it
the
is
third
Dubridge that
leg,
finds the
Mark
target first.
Dubridge.
It's 2-1 Mark Dubridge. Just doing everything right.
Fourth flag, it's Andy to throw first. Game on. $78. $121. $100.
Yeah, this is a complete reversal to what we saw from Mark Dubridge yesterday. Doing everything to keep himself in contention.
59. $140.
And also, on these Friday sessions, if you are going to make it through to finals night, you potentially playing an opponent that you might meet again tomorrow. So it's just a little chance, isn't it, to plant a seed of doubt in their mind.
93.
Yeah, there's lots of other games going on in the background, isn't there?
26.
To be in the mind of a dart player, I'm not sure. Well, there's definitely some dart players' minds I would not want to be in.
$83. Andy, you require 157.
An opening for Andy Davidson here.
47.
Hasn't made the most of it. Dubridge may get the chance to break.
65. Andy, you require 110.
Yeah, double 16.
78. Mark, you require 80.
Well, he hasn't missed a dart at double, and one of them was double-double. Decides against that this time. Different way to take out 80.
70.
I think he's probably wondering why he changed his mind from the previous time that he had that check out.
Game shot on a 4 flag.
Couldn't miss
Andy
tops,
Davidson.
but couldn't hit tens, and in response, Davidson levels the match.
5th flag. It's Mark to throw first. Game on.
You do tend to find that players will have routes that they stick to, routes that they go for.
97.
Ultimately, did cost Mark the opportunity at the break. But we're all back on throw.
180.
Well, just wondering if that performance from Dubridge in his last game when he averaged 105 maybe just pricked the attention of Andy Davidson.
29.
Made him realise what he'd need to do to beat him. Dubridge is nowhere near that standard in this match, as it turns out.
Yeah, and that's another
85.
really frustrating thing as a dart player. In his mind, he's probably thinking, well, why can't I keep it going? Why can't I do more of the same? Yeah, if we knew that, we'd all bottle it and sell it, but still keeping himself in. It's still on throw.
100.
Yeah, though Davidson has taken the darts in this 5th leg. Trying to stack on those. He'll be
60.
disappointed not to have scored at least a ton there.
$53. $100.
Yeah, good last dart. Really does stack the darts very well, Andy Davidson. Yeah, now got a bit of time on his side, and that's gone wild there for Mark Dubridge.
44. Andy requires 76.
Single 16 leaves tops.
36.
That was close.
It really was, and unfortunately for Dubridge, he's not close to Davidson in this leg. He will leave some kind of finish here, but Davidson
43. Andy
will look to ensure he doesn't get a go at it. Won't be the easiest, but he has found a way past it.
Andy Davidson.
He does break. He leads 3-2. And now Dubridge
6th leg. It's Andy to throw first.
may
Game
find
on.
himself in a difficult spot ahead of his closing game against Jimmy Vanky.
45.
Yes, at points like this, that Dubridge just needs to draw on all his experience. So there is this, when you get embroiled in a game and it's as tight as this one has been, you can get very much wrapped up in the pace of the other player, and I think Flash may have just lost a bit of form in that last leg.
140.
Defeat for Dubridge, of course, would be music
100
to the ears of Charlie Large. He still has a couple of games to play, including the next one against Reece Colley. Can put himself in
85.
a very good position. And if Dubridge is then defeated by Vanky and Large beats Colley, then that will be Large through before he has
40.
to play his last game against Davidson. And you wouldn't really want to be relying on beating Andy Davidson, would you?
No, most definitely not.
96.
The way he's performed over the last couple of days.
He looks like he might be about to get another victory.
Yeah, Dubridge did well to keep it to a piece, but
Andy, you require 135.
Davidson that's pulled away, and now looking at 135 and plays it sensible with Dubridge back on 246. Just looks to set up, which he does.
$128.
Tops
Andy,
end.
you require 40.
To carry on
Game shot.
the
And
perfect
match,
night.
Andy Davidson.
Andy Davidson, who's through to finals night, has just dented Dubridge's hopes. It is a 4-2 victory for the Scotsman, and that win for him is actually, well, it keeps Charlie Large ahead of Mark Dubridge, and it means that Dubridge is going to have to get a result against Jimmy Vanky later on this evening. Davidson guaranteed to finish first in this group. We will see him again in the final game of the night, but up next it's a big game for Large. Stay tuned.
Hang on a minute.
Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's £100 down the drain already.
Itching to hit the 180.
He's gone for the maximum.
18 for the bull. Bull.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first start from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Scape.
Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable. Get match starts to put his team into the final. And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Double 4 for the title.
Game shot out the net. Please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
He seems to be out. That's what he is. Charlie Murphy.
A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Bosh.
Pie face is through.
And he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Pie face dominated throughout.
Yeah, welcome back to the Modus Super Series. You've just seen Mark Dubridge go down 4-2 to Davidson. So keeps everything a little bit open, and Charlie Large would have just witnessed that and realises that this could be a real opportunity for him to keep his campaign alive. But he is facing Reece Colley. It's been a disappointing couple of days for Reece, and I'm sure he'll reflect on that. but he could still play the part of spoiler here for Charlie Large. A local lad would bring a bit of a following if he could make it through to tomorrow. But it's Reese that's standing in his way. Again, I'm intrigued. Every one of these matches now has just got this different element to it.
Yeah, and there is an opportunity actually for Large to get through by winning this game. If he wins it 4-2 or better, that would be him safe.
49.
Because of the leg difference between Vanky and Dubridge.
85.
Whatever the scoreline in that match either way, one of them would end up either staying below him in Dubridge's case or dropping below him in case of Vanky. So he needs to
99.
win by 2 legs or more to qualify now. And then he could still afford a 4-0 defeat to Andrew Davidson in the last game.
100.
Yeah, well, that would be the perfect result for Charlie Large. But I would hazard a guess that he probably doesn't know that himself.
97.
So he's just going to have to go all out for this match against Reese. You do find, don't you, that when there is one player within the group that has been defeated pretty much by everyone else, it's that feels like not just an opportunity, but a real must-take, because otherwise you're at that slight disadvantage to the rest of the group.
100.
Yeah, but we always felt that this was a group where anybody could beat anybody, and I'm sure all the players will feel that as well.
45. Charlie
I do think that the demeanour of Reese Colley is probably encouraging for Charlie Large. Players do feed off that, don't they?
59.
It is difficult to keep your motivation when you know you're out.
131.
Yeah, that's a great setup
Charlie
shot.
require 97.
Puts a wee bit of pressure here on Charlie to get the 97.
Going for the double 19. And now the double top.
77.
Good effort,
Risha
but to no avail.
40. $30.
Yeah, the doubling woes
Charlie
continue for Reese
20.
Colley. And Charlie Large back at the hockey for 20.
Just trying to work in off that. He's re-gripped a couple of times here. Is that a sign of a little bit of nervousness?
Shot of first leg, Charlie Large.
See him wiping his hand on his shirt as well a little bit there, but it didn't stop him hitting that double and getting the lead.
Second leg, it's Reese to throw first. Game on.
Now, for something we were talking about today, I think it is probably more appropriate conversation for the daytime
60.
in terms of just the heat wave, the mini heat wave that we seem to be having was affecting quite a few of the players.
140.
Yeah, is that type of venue here where it sort of holds the temperature? It can be quite hard
60.
to heat a big open space like this. It was an old church once upon a time. But in the summer,
57.
it gets warm and stays warm.
$100. $44.
Charlie clearly not happy with that 5. Wants to switch, but to no real avail.
60. $96.
Just to sort of make the point simpler, what Charlie Large needs in this match is one breaker throw, basically. If he gets that, he'll get the result he needs
89.
to qualify.
Charlie require 164.
Can he do that in emphatic style? 164 required. Starts at the top. Quite often you now see with 164 the players going for 2 treble 19s.
41.
They like to follow
She require 132.
their darts rather than go for completely open targets. That's not going to be an open target should he find the treble 19, but
64.
doesn't matter. 132
Charlie require 123.
couldn't be taken out. How about 123? No.
61. Rishi requires 68.
More chances here. This time it's double for the target. And double 2.
64. Charlie requires
It's just
62.
not happening for Reese Colley.
Double 16.
30. Rishi require 4.
Had his chance, hasn't he, to get that break nice and early. Is he going to get that chance again? He is.
2. Charlie require 32. Game shot on a second leg.
This
Charlie
time it does
Large.
go 2-0 to Charlie Large. There's the breaker throw you've been talking about. But that's 8 missed at the outer ring for Reece
Third
Colley.
leg, it's Charlie to throw first.
Just giving him quite
Game
a bit
on.
to think about.
$135.
It's difficult, isn't it, when you're seeing a
100.
player that's obviously not comfy, maybe struggling slightly up on the oche. It's quite hard because obviously the players have to come back in this format, have to keep persevering. And kudos to
90.
Reece. He's putting himself in a good position, but just can't convert those doubles.
You have to give credit to Charlie Large as well. It was a relatively late call.
140.
It was around this time last week when Charlie Large was asked if he could fill in for Daryl
81.
Fitton, who unfortunately had to withdraw. So didn't have the most amount of preparation time, but I do get the sense he is one of those
57.
players who just constantly plays darts. So he's always ready for anything. And there is a thriving local scene in the area that
59.
the Live Lounge is in.
$140. Charlie require 136.
Another solid visit to set up 64 for Reece Colley. But getting to a double hasn't been the problem for Reece. It's hitting it when he's there.
96. Rishi requires 64. $32.
Large just surviving
Charlie
a little bit of a
require
scare there,
40.
having got the break he needed. It wouldn't have been welcome to surrender it straight away. Double 4.
No
But he may
score.
do that.
Rishi require 32. Game shot on the third leg. Reece
Yeah,
Colley.
That he does. Break back there for Reece Colley.
Fourth leg. It's Reece to throw first. Game on.
You'd have to say, without any disrespect at all to Reece Colley, that this is Charlie Large's best chance of getting through.
96.
Well, the result Charlie needs is exactly what he got over Reece yesterday. It was a 4-2 win in favour of Charlie Large.
59.
He could, of course, go through without winning another match. He's currently sat in third spot in the
58.
table. If Dubridge is defeated by Vanky and he doesn't lose his own matches by too big a scoreline, he could sneak through without a win.
140.
Yeah, still a bit to play out tonight.
$123. $57.
Yeah, perhaps not enough there for Charlie Large,
60.
but not punished. Colley is on a finish, but it is a big finish.
$85. Rishi require 164.
Well, he does go the 19s route, and it pays off.
117.
Couldn't quite manage the
Charlie
bullseye
require
bit.
160.
And now Large is going to get his go. He needs tops.
120.
I'm not sure what
Rishi
happened
require
there, Laura.
47.
Now, whether it just clipped one of those flights, but clattered into the board. I think 7 was the target there. Gone in the 19, so 28 left, double 14.
Game
Yeah, and
shot
that's
on
the
the
target
fourth
hit.
leg. Reece
2
Colley.
apiece, and if Charlie's got any chance of qualifying via this match, he needs perfection
Fifth
from here on
leg.
in.
It's Charlie
Can't
to
drop another
throw
leg.
first. Game on.
Yep, as mentioned, he needs to win a 4-2. We can now get rid of the
140.
or better part of that sentence, because that can't happen. But defeat could be very damaging, particularly if he loses 4-2.
140.
He then would move on to -2 in his leg difference. Dubridge is on -4. Mark Dubridge could then 96. Find himself in the bizarre position where, even though he's in 4th place now, he could lose his next match, but then still move up to 3rd before the end of the night.
125.
Yeah, it's quite hard to predict at this stage. There's one thing we do know, or two things we do know, really. Andy Davidson's top of the table and Rhys Colley is out of the equation. The rest is down to these guys.
A reminder, Richie Burnett,
44. Charlie
Killian
require
McCormack, Shane McGurk all have already joined Davidson.
100.
Yeah, big last start there for Charlie.
$126. Charlie requires 67.
Once again, good setup play by Rhys Colley.
$27.
Large will be very disappointed
66.
not to have got to go to a double there. Colley should get one. Will get one.
46.
But doesn't hit.
Charlie
an opportunity for Large
40.
to move within 1 of qualification.
Yeah, back on double 10. Can he find the target? He can this time round. 3-2.
Charlie Large.
Charlie Large. It's one of those matches that really Rhys has had
6th leg. It's
doubles
Rhys to
every
throw
single
first.
leg so
Game
far
on.
in the match and just hasn't been able to find it as regularly as he needed to.
96. $27. $100.
So Charlie Large needs to win this leg to ensure qualification.
140.
Or that if he doesn't, then he might need something against
81.
Andy Davidson. Particularly that will be the case if he loses this leg and the one after.
134.
You have 2 solid visits after that disappointing opening throw from Charlie of 27. Backs it up with a 140 and a 134.
100.
And this is his bounce back ability.
120.
Talking of bounce backs.
Rishi
That was a
require
bounce out.
124.
Treble 18. The ball
99.
just clipped that
Charlie
wire.
require 80.
But now Large gets his chance. 80 points. To be in front of a home crowd on Saturday night.
60. Rishi require
Is
25.
that the closest he's going to come?
Game shot on a
It is
6th
indeed.
leg. Rhys
We're
Colley.
at 3 apiece, so yeah, sportsmanly like fist pump there at 3 apiece.
7th and final leg. It's Charlie to throw first.
It is the first game
Game on.
of the evening to go the distance.
$93. $140.
Well, winning this game now becomes imperative for Charlie Large, doesn't it? Just winning this leg and putting himself in a very strong position to qualify.
58.
Because if he loses this leg and therefore loses the match, Dubridge gets a win against Vanky, and the way he's played tonight, he might well. Then he's going to find himself 2 points behind going into a game against the table-topping Andy Davidson.
100.
Yeah, really wants those valuable 2 points now.
$132.
I will say, against the darts, Rhys Colley is playing very, very well. He's down to a finish 129 after just 9 darts.
56. Rishi require 129.
Oh, what a finish.
And the match.
And what a couple of
Colley.
darts through the heart of Charlie Large, who had a chance to qualify. Missed a dart to do so. Instead, he's lost the match and now may have to beat the group winner, Andy Davidson, in his final game. Things have turned around so quickly and keep turning around so quickly in this group. For now, Charlie Large still occupies third place. That could change after the next game, which sees Mark Dubridge take on Jimmy Vanky.
George Taylor, Garrett Tilley, and 4-2, Craig Nixon, Robin Young.
Yeah, the amateur darts circuit, how Jimmy Vanky first made it through to the Modus Super Series, and that can be said of quite a few players. Andy Davidson as well, the winner of this group. It gives the opportunity for any amateur dart player to pit their skills against their local rivals and move up the regional and national events, not just here in the UK, but in Europe as well, and maybe even make it to the Modus Super Series stage. And we will, of course, be hosting the Global Championships come the end of the year. More on that another time, but the information's all available on the ADC website.
Game on.
Right now, we're going to focus on the Super Series Saturday session, getting through to finals night. And Jimmy Vanky is just 2 legs away from getting there. He will qualify with 2 legs
100.
here if Mark Dubridge wins this match 4-0 or 4-1, he will qualify because he'll be ahead of Vanky in the table. Whether it's Vanky or Charlie Large that goes with him will depend on the last match. But if Vanky wins the match, then Dubridge is out and both Vanky and Large are through.
It's definitely one of those groups where you kind of need fingers, toes, and
41.
Anything actually available to you to try and work out the various permutations.
Yeah, so just to confirm, if Vanky gets the 2 legs, that will
93.
put him through, but it won't necessarily put Charlie Large through at that point. If he wins the match, it'll put them both through. And Dubridge needs to win massive 4-0 or 4-1 to qualify, but of course, any win could see him
38.
through, assuming that Davidson beats Large. But we shouldn't assume anything in this group. It's twisted and turned all the way through to the end.
Yeah, it really has, and you've got to give full credit to Dubridge because he had a lot of the work to do. Just the one win yesterday, just to put himself into this kind of contention. He's done very, very well. And he'll be hoping to try and rekindle some of that magic that he found
55.
in that win over Charlie Large. 105.64 was the average for him. Then went down 4-2 to Davidson, which has then put it all in jeopardy once again.
180.
But that most certainly will help Mark Dubridge down to a finish and looking to break the throw early on.
42. Mark, you require 118. $52.
Yeah, just a fraction off all of those, but still has time on his side.
123. Yeah. Mark, you require 66.
There's times where I think Jimmy Vanky is trying to throw the dart through the dartboard.
Game shot on the first leg.
To no avail.
Mark Dubridge.
It's Mark Dubridge that gets the break. 66. Check out.
Second leg. It's Mark to throw first. Game on. $95.
And the situation that they've started this match in, Mark Dubridge was on -4 on a leg difference.
96.
Jimmy Vanky +1 and 2 points better off than Dubridge. If it ends up with him going out and Dubridge and Large going
96.
through, it's going to be a sort of slow, cruel, painful end to his week, isn't it? He's going to have to, well, first of all, feel like he's not done enough
60.
in this game, but then if Large can get that result after Davidson, it'll be horrible to watch.
82.
I've never been in the practice room and sort of sat next to a player who's watching somebody else effectively out to bat for them, but it does happen here.
59.
Yeah, I've been through a couple of times, just at the right moment where someone's kind of sat on their hands. They're waiting for that result. They're hoping it goes their way.
The World Cup of Darts is
94.
on at the moment, isn't it? And there's a famous one with practice room camera with Van Gerwen and Adrian Lewis. I think we should maybe bring that in here.
140.
Yeah, that would be
Mark, you
interesting.
require 134.
See that the turmoil of the format sometimes doesn't always just
94.
happen on the hockey. It
Jimmy, you
can happen
require
in the practice room as well.
146. 90. Mark, you require
So
40.
2-0. Remember, he needed 4-0 or 4-1 to qualify at this point. And
Game
he's
shot on
halfway
the
there.
second leg. Mark Dubridge.
Yeah, and it's just a muted fist bump there
Third
from Mark
leg, it's
Dubridge.
Jimmy to throw
Understands
first.
how important this match is.
Game on.
Get a big result. I think what you were saying earlier, what you are seeing from Jimmy Vanky is that the frustration coming through.
But it's only happening to him, this, isn't it? That all these bounce outs
40.
are only happening to him. We actually saw it with his Dutch compatriot Jerome Meork earlier in the week, and he seemed to arrive on Tuesday after loads of bounce outs on Monday with his darts sharpened up.
80.
One thing with sharpening points as well is you've got to do it correctly. You
60.
can actually end up blunting them, can't you, by trying to sharpen them.
Yeah, there's definitely a technique to doing it. But I think it's the reaction. Obviously, as we're getting close to the finish line, there's not very much time left for Jimmy Vanky.
Well, Mark Dubridge has kept his head. And it seems that Jimmy might be losing his at the wrong moment.
54.
Of course, he does have that insurance policy of having more points in the bank than Charlie Large. So if you have got to send someone else into bat, 45. Andy Davidson's not a bad option.
It's definitely not, is it?
$140. $100.
It's almost like Mark Dubridge is kind of just getting this calm energy from the reactions of Jimmy Vanky, who
57.
I would say is anything but calm. Looks like he's about to boil over.
Yeah, he just looks ultra
140.
focused, so smooth, so relaxed. He's got the
150.
perfect mix here for success, Mark Dubridge.
95. Mark, you require 36.
Double 9 can be awkward, and that's why.
No score.
Ops to bust.
Jimmy,
so
you require 55.
a chance here for Jimmy. Double 18 is the target for him, and again over to double 9.
46.
Same result.
Mark, you require 36.
Potentially a little bit of tension here. I think just watching the release of the last couple of darts
Game shot on
from
a third
Vanky,
leg.
maybe
Mark
holding on
Dubridge.
just for that millisecond longer than he usually does, causing him to drag the dart a little low.
Fourth flag. It's Mark to throw first. Game on.
So Mark Dubridge now has
100.
a little bit to play with all of a sudden. He can afford to lose this leg. This is his throw though, so he'll hope to win it here and get the job done. And it will be the
140.
total turnaround after the opening night when he was bottom of the table.
$45.
And I think for Jimmy, it's just the complete opposite for him as well from yesterday into today. Can't recall a time here at the Modus series where he's had to kind of go through and suffer quite as much defeat when he's been in a position where he's been, quite commanding.
83.
We said at the start of the night that we thought 8 points would get you through. Mark Dubridge now on course to finish second, although Jimmy's got something to say about that. He's on course to get to 8 points. Vanky also on 8 points. But if Charlie Large beats Davidson, then Vanky could go out on that number.
180.
What a response.
Jimmy
Very much anything
41.
you can do, I can do too. And Jimmy Vanky misses the single number. Shake of the head. Corrects it for double 12.
29.
And again, it's that dart
Mark,
just been
require
pulled low.
93.
Just feeling it. It's a fantastic 180 in answer from Mark Dubridge.
33.
But just a match ago, it looked like Charlie
Jimmy
Large was about to
required
book his
12.
place in finals night. Dubridge is in that same position.
Game shot
Now,
on
in
the
order
fourth
to do
flag,
that, he's
Jimmy
going to have to break
Vanky.
Vanky's throat.
Fifth flag. It's Jimmy to throw first.
So now we're in a
Game on.
strange position in a match where one player's leading it 3-1, but this leg will determine which one of them goes through.
134.
Because if Vanky wins it, he's through. If Dubridge wins it, he's through.
$140.
quite often I think the players are pretty aware of what they need to do. I will say with the permutations the way they have been tonight, I'm quite confident in saying that I don't think these guys know
60.
exactly what is required of them to secure a place.
Yeah, and it's an argument, isn't it, that maybe it's better not to know. Maybe going onto the stage thinking I need 2 legs is kind of the wrong attitude.
Yeah, I just think the reaction and the way that Jimmy's playing, I think in his head he needs to win.
I do think that he's maybe just holding onto his darts a little too long.
44.
And it might be part of the reason he's getting so many bounce outs, because if he's not throwing them, pitching them as he usually would, then the point isn't landing flush in the sisal.
60.
Yeah, I'd agree, because on those
Check
occasions
45.
where he has really launched the dart at the board, he has hit the 180s, the 140s when doing that.
57.
Whoever wins this leg joins Andy Davidson in qualifying for finals night from this group.
22.
And even if they don't know, they're kind of playing like 2 players that do know in this leg. So much tension, so many nerves.
140.
But that is a settler for Vanky, and he's going to get a look at 66 to qualify.
$60. Jimmy, you require 66. Game shot
And there
on
it is.
fifth leg.
Jimmy Vanky books his place at finals night. I'm not sure he knows it, but he's got the 2 legs that he needed.
6th leg.
And the
It's Mark to throw
Dutchman will
first.
be back on the stage
Game
where
on.
he had that fabulous success last series.
182.
Yeah, the perfect start to the 6th leg there for Mark Dubridge. Yeah, I'd hazard a guess that Jimmy doesn't realise that he's done enough to get through.
60.
And it puts Mark Dubridge in a kind of cruel position now, because he had the opportunity himself to go through.
42.
But if he wins this leg and wins this match 4-2, he has to hope that Charlie Large doesn't win. Any victory against Davidson
60.
would be enough in that instance for Charlie Large to make it. It could be even better for Large. Vanky could win the game, and then he's through without having to beat Davidson.
108.
Not over yet, but I will say 2 180s in this leg for Mark Dubridge, down to 99 after just 9.
96. Mark,
So,
you require 99.
Dubridge will play the waiting game. But is this the winning game?
89.
Here's a question for you, Laura. If Mark Dubridge does get the 4-2 victory in this game, who's really won this match?
I guess it would be Mark.
83.
but
Mark,
I know
you
what you're
require
saying.
10. No score.
Well, more match-winning opportunities come and gone there for Mark Dubridge. And Jimmy just hasn't put in enough to put any kind of pressure on, and
58.
more frustration there for
Mark, you
Vanky.
require 10.
Double 5. Not found.
No score. Jimmy,
Well,
you
I
require
actually think that he wanted the
144.
1 then, because why would he have thrown the dart there? He was sick of double 5, but he's going to have to come back for it.
Yeah, and he will come back for it. And I do agree, the 1 was the target.
56. Mark, you
Now
require
10 is the target.
10. Game shot and the match. Mark Dubridge.
So Mark Dubridge does win the game, but it's Jimmy Vanky who goes through to finals night. He needed 2 legs. He got 2 legs. He doesn't look like a man who knows he's through, but he is going to find out when he walks around the corner. Mark Dubridge is going to have to wait to see if he will join him. He's got to 8 points. That is usually enough, but it won't be for Mark Dubridge if Charlie Large can beat the group winner, Andy Davidson. That's coming up in the final match of the night after the break.
So the final match of this Group B campaign. And here's what we know so far. Andy Davidson there on your screen. He is through. We also know he'll be joined by Jimmy Vanky. Reece Colley is out. And the last place, this match could decide or will decide who gets it. At the moment, it's Mark Dubridge. But any win here for Charlie Large, and he would find himself in tomorrow's finals. Still all to play for Charlie. And I imagine Mark Dubridge is sat in that back room waiting to see how things play out.
Yeah, we get it so often here at the Super Series where it's a game between two players and only one of them's on the stage.
First leg, it's Andy to throw first. Game on.
It's not going to affect anything for Andy Davidson. He's through, he's won the group. That's not going to change. But Charlie Large, 40 minutes ago, had a dart at tops to get the win he needed that would have seen him qualify with victory
96
over Reece Colley. He lost that game 4-3. Now he's going to have to do it the really hard way and beat a player who's only been beaten once in this group. However, the player that beat him in this group was Charlie Large in the first match of last night.
123.
And you have to say, Charlie Large was desperately unlucky in that 4-3 defeat to Reece Colley. Reece, as we've mentioned,
75.
Hasn't been quite on his game, but did produce a 12-dart leg in the decider to take the victory.
108.
That'll do nicely. Getting a break in the opening leg would be just
58.
the tonic
Charlie require 102.
that Charlie would need. suppose it would have been a large tonic, wouldn't it?
62. Andy, you require
very large tonic.
134.
Oh, it might be snatched away here. Stayed there. He liked the lie. Didn't quite work out for him.
94. Charlie, you require 40.
But Charlie looks at tops.
Game
And pins
shot on
it. No
first
sign of
leg,
nervousness
Charlie
yet.
Yeah, Charlie stepped up onto the oche.
Second leg, it's Charlie
Really
to throw
does look like
first.
he knows what
Game on.
He knows what the task is. He knows what he has to do. Kicks off with a 13. Dart breaker throw.
93.
Yeah, you mentioned that match against Reece Colley.
137.
He needed to win 4-2 or better. He had a dart to do so. Then ended up losing 4-3. Mark Dubridge
70.
in beating Jimmy Van Skiers. At least giving himself the opportunity. Van Skiers through. We are aware
59.
actually he does know that he's through. But he was disappointed with how he's played tonight. And we could get the situation where Jimmy Van Ski loses 3 out of 4 games and qualifies, with Mark
58.
Dubridge wins 3 out of 4 tonight and doesn't make it.
A lot of that damage for Mark Dubridge was done yesterday.
139. $59.
Well, last night we were talking about the fact that when Charlie Large was broken, he was breaking straight back. Tonight
60.
it's been he's breaking and they're breaking straight back at him.
Yeah, and you can afford to do that maybe a little bit earlier on in the evening, but
Andy, you require 106.
when you're staring down the table topper, who's looking at double 16, doesn't
74.
get it, so a chance here
Charlie,
for
you
Charlie.
require 128.
Yeah, Rice smiled to himself, but
46.
he wouldn't have enjoyed seeing
Andy, you
that hit
require
that target.
32.
So 32 here for Davidson. And
Game shot on a second
now
leg.
back
Andy
at a level
Davidson.
game and back on throat.
Third leg, it's Andy to throw first. Game on. $60.
I have to say, whoever does get through between Dubridge and Large are going to have deserved it. You almost feel like if Charlie Large wins this match, and they'll both have deserved it.
140.
Getting to 8 points and not qualifying is really, really rare.
$99.
Yeah, but this is a very tricky task
60.
ahead of Charlie. You could argue that opening match did play well, had a 90 average against Andy
59.
Davidson, a 4-2 victory, which included a 114 checkout. But he did catch him on the very first day, the
85.
very first game. Sometimes you can catch these players a little bit cold, and as we know, Andy has gone on to top the table.
He won his first 2 matches in the group, Large. He really asserted himself
Andy, you require
last night.
156.
Double
Game shot
18,
on a
wow.
third leg. Andy Davidson.
Well, that really, really does hurt. You can see the reaction. Raise of the eyebrows.
Fourth leg, it's Charlie
But he's still
to
in
throw
it.
first.
He's still fighting.
Game on.
Couldn't make the break in the opening leg count.
100.
But that is exactly what he was doing in the early stages last night, particularly against Davidson, and you've got to give him full credit.
60.
Yeah, that's the best reaction to that kind of finish. And a finish I can tell you Andy Davidson enjoyed. Don't see him celebrate all that often, but
46.
did get one after that.
$55. $22.
Charlie just unable to back up that 180 he kicked off with.
100. 97.
This group going right down to the crunch.
96. Charlie
This would
require
be
156.
the perfect response. Repeating the checkout, he's just had hit against him.
138.
Yeah, almost poetic, but not quite. We'll be back for 18. But we've seen that be a bit of a banana skin for a few of the players tonight. Don't want to be slipping in the 9.
Game shot on
Well,
the
that's
flag.
well thought
Charlie
out and well
Large.
executed, isn't it?
Fifth flag. It's Andy to throw first.
Didn't want that
Game
danger
on.
that Laura spoke about of the double 9, so he backed himself to hit with 2 darts at a double. He turn only needed 1. Davidson, though, finds all 3 in the treble, meaning it's becoming more and more likely
100.
that Charlie Large is going to have to break through in a last leg decider at best here.
140.
Yeah, I agree. As we're getting to the finish line, more and more pressure on Charlie, as we know Davidson already through.
140.
The defeat hit wouldn't be a disaster for him at all, but he's looking like a guy that just wants to absolutely go through the card tonight. And
140.
yeah, down to 41 and just 9. Potential incoming 11 darter.
$131. Andy require 41.
Well, there is
9.
an opportunity here for
Charlie
Large,
require 130.
and this would be an extra large finish. The ball
82.
could have been huge.
Andy require 32. Game shot on the fifth flag. Andy Davidson.
You are not likely to get another chance against Andy Davidson in the form he's been in tonight. Is that the
Sixth flag,
opportunity
it's
that Charlie
Charlie to
Large
throw
was looking
first.
for? Has it
Game
gone begging?
on. 58.
Yeah, well, you said at the start of the match you'd have to do it the hard way, but now it is as hard can be.
100.
Last 2 legs against a man who has won his last 7 matches.
96.
Let's not forget as well that in Group A,
85.
Andy Davidson only got through to Group B
100.
because Shane McGurk lost his last game to Richie Burnett, and McGurk won that match. They just swapped places. As it turns out,
140.
they've both gone and won the groups they've been put in.
Yeah, I think it's quite an interesting parallel between the pair of them actually, because
140.
they both didn't top the table, but really did bounce back in their group.
136.
Yeah, Jimmy Vanky was higher than
Charlie
both of those in the
require
table, but he
107.
sort of had to struggle through in the end. Large has to hit,
Game shot on a sixth
and he
flag.
has hit.
Charlie Large.
Well, let's
7 from
never ever
final leg.
accuse
It's
Charlie
Andy to
Large of
throw
not having
first.
guts, of not having
Game
bottle,
on.
because that showed all of that and plenty more. Look at his eyes prized on the board, seeing what Davidson
125.
scores. And to be honest, the way that Davidson's been starting legs on throw, 125 is an opening for Large.
Yeah, that was some clutch finishing.
57.
Charlie Large just keeps in it.
100. $140.
Well, it'll show how dominant Andy Davidson has been in this group. The fact that if he does win this match,
140.
he'll be the only player in the group with a positive leg difference.
Yeah, that's amazing. Be interesting to know if that's ever happened before.
99. Andy require 136.
To do it in style.
120.
Well, Charlie Large, I said this place used to be a church. He's going to be down on his knees praying after this visit.
59. Andy requires 16.
Or his prayer's going to be answered.
12.
Is he going to get his miracle?
Charlie require 146.
Yeah, this would be some way to finish the match, to finish the night. I couldn't find the second treble like the lie, so Davidson back for
4.
Yeah, don't blame him for staying there.
No score.
But he gets another chance.
Charlie
Who would have seen this?
46.
And a penny for the thoughts of Mark Dubridge, who will be eliminated if this goes in.
10.
He's had his chance. Charlie
Andy
Large
requires
misses 2
4.
darts to qualify.
Wow, drama to the last as Davidson looks for 4 and
Game
this
shot
time does find 4. A fist bump there for
Davidson.
Andy Davidson, but heartbreak for Charlie Large. Did find chances, did have opportunities to put himself through to Saturday, but it will be Mark Dubridge who takes that final spot. And there's your averages, 95.41, 92.31 for Charlie Large, including that wonderful 107 finish to level it up at 3 apiece. But it is Andy Davidson who tops the table, and it will be Charlie Large who's going home. And we will be joining Andy in the studio just after this very short break.
Yeah, Andy Davidson has joined us for a little chat after winning Group B. Andy, first of all, congratulations, but I want to ask you about playing in that last game. Did you know everything else that was going on? You were safely through, but obviously Charlie was trying to join you and Mark Dubridge kind of hoping you'd get the job done in the practice room.
I'll be honest, I had absolutely no idea what the permutations were. I mean, I saw the guys in the practice room because they were all surrounding the laptop and the fixture of play, and just, yeah, I did feel they were a little bit tense tonight, and I just felt myself, if I went and won my first game tonight, I felt I was going to be through, and then after that, I relaxed, and yeah, I played pretty good, I felt. So, yeah, bring on tomorrow.
Yeah, you certainly did play well tonight. Do you think you've made a little bit of a statement this evening?
Well, potentially, yeah. I mean, I think it's more for myself because I don't feel I played that good on Tuesday and Wednesday. I felt I played okay Monday without getting the results, so to speak. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll be honest, I was pretty rubbish. But Thursday was a little bit better. It was a little bit better last night, but tonight, yeah, it was a bit more like my normal self, and yeah, it was good to be relaxed on the stage, and yeah, they flew tonight.
Laura, he really dominated this group, didn't he? We just spoke about the fact he's the only player that's got a positive leg difference. It shows how dominant he's been in this group.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. And I think, you know, going back to what Andy was just saying there with regards to your Group A campaign, but, you know, you've come into this group, had not such a good Tuesday, not such a good Wednesday. And I think you've just shown that you've just got that, you're obviously very comfortable up on the stage and you've got that ability to really knuckle down, to really focus when push comes to shove. So for me, just been really impressive all round. Yeah,
it's only your third week here, obviously Champions Week, having won your week last time. Are you feeling at home here now?
I certainly feel a lot more at home. Certainly playing in Group B. It seems to be Group B seems to be when I seem to come alive. I mean, yeah, it seems to me that the Group A sort of playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is almost a bit of a warm up for me to sort of get used to playing at this sort of time. But yeah, the last 2 days again, I felt I've played a little bit better. I still don't feel I'm quite on top. I mean, I'm almost there. I mean, I felt I played good. I felt I played decent tonight. I still know there's another gear there, but yeah, I felt a lot more comfortable, and I'm quite confident for tomorrow.
Yeah, what about tomorrow then? Because obviously you've had that experience. I mean, you say Group B, but maybe it's just evenings, Andy, that you perform better in. And tomorrow, of course, 7:30, the action gets underway, an audience in here. How much are you going to feed off that and the experience you had last time?
Well, as you said it, Chris, that's, the fact that I have won a week in here, I think that's going to stand me in good stead, albeit... Yeah, don't get me wrong. I was quite lucky to win that final. Sorry, Aidan, but I was quite lucky to win that final. I'll be the first to admit that. But yeah, the fact that I have got the job done on that stage means there's no reason I can't do that again tomorrow.
Right, let's just show you all who has made it through to finals night this week. This is the full lineup. Richie Burnett won Group A earlier in the week. Andy Davidson winning Group B, going through with Jimmy Vanky and Mark Dubridge in the end, and then Shane McGurk and Killian McCormack, the Irish duo, making it through Group C. And we can now show you the groups for finals night tomorrow. Here they are. So, Andy, you're going to be in with McGurk and Dubridge, Richie Burnett in with Killian McCormack and Jimmy Vanky. We'll get your initial reaction to your group.
Well, they're all tough. I mean, Shane was pretty awesome in Group C. I mean, I said that to him when I saw him earlier on. He was the best player in Group C by quite some distance, and well, we all know what Mark Dubridge has done. He's got the experience, so I am still the outsider in that group as far as I see it. So, but I've got no experience. The fact I played really well tonight, there's no reason why I can't come through that.
Is he the outsider, Laura?
Well, I did pull a face when you said that. I don't think that the odds compilers will be thinking the same thing. The way that you've performed, the way you've played, I definitely think you're going to go into that group as definitely one of the favourites.
The other players that are there tomorrow, you just mentioned Mark. We did see a very different Mark Dubridge tonight. He played really well, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah. Sorry. No, he was absolutely class tonight. I'll be the first to admit that. He was something different in the practice room. I'll be honest about that, because he seemed a bit more relaxed this evening. So the fact that he did play well. He did regress a bit against me in the sort of last 3 legs there, but I think he won all other 3 games tonight, didn't he? So yeah, it was nice to see him bounce back from. He was disappointed with Thursday, but it was nice to see him bounce back.
And we were saying whoever sneaked through, whether it was Charlie or Mark, everyone's got a chance, haven't they, on a finals night?
Yeah, absolutely. It starts. It's another night. You've got to draw a line under everything that's happened. Take forward the confidence that you've got from getting through the groups, but tomorrow's another different day. It's a different format. It feels very much more cutthroat when you get to finals night. You've obviously got that short round robin stage, and then you've got the knockout stages. So, yeah, it's a different feeling, a different day, and the results could be, for the 6 that are up there, it could be anyone.
And Andy mentioned that Shane McGurk sort of dominated Group C. He's dominated Group B. Richie Burnett was through in Group A before he even lost a match. So you've got 3 players who are going into finals night on really good form as well. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, definitely going to be fun. I think we're all looking forward to just hoping that just see more of the same from the likes of Andy, from Richie, but also, I mean, Andy's mentioned himself. You think you've got another gear to go through. So if that's the case, then it could be another explosive finals night.
Final thought from you, Andy, going into finals now. How much do you think you can sort of carry on this role you've had the last couple of nights, and maybe draw on the experience having won on that stage before?
Well, yeah, it's interesting. The fact I've actually mirrored my Week 11 experience, the fact that my first game on Thursday, I ended up losing 4-2, and then I've won 7 in a row. To do that again means I could go and do 4 in a row tomorrow. I mean, why not? There's no reason why I can't. I mean, I've played decent tonight, so yeah, bring it on tomorrow. I can't wait for it.
Good omens and good luck. We will see you both tomorrow, and we will hope to see you tomorrow as well. The action gets underway from 7:30 for finals night. It's a really strong field. Davidson dominated tonight in Group B and is looking to win again on the Super Series stage. We'll see you tomorrow.